Moscow is throwing the biggest party since the fall of the Berlin Wall. Champagne popping, vodka flowing, and state TV hosts beaming with delight. The reason? Donald Trump picked up the phone and dialed Vladimir Putin. And just like that, the fate of Ukraine seems to be shifting overnight. Trump, in his signature unpredictable fashion, announced that negotiations over Ukraine's future would begin immediately. No preconditions, no pesky allies involved. Washington and Moscow, old frenemies, are now left to figure it all out like two power-hungry CEOs deciding which boardroom to invade next. Meanwhile, Kyiv is having a collective meltdown. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, upon hearing the news, essentially went into "Are you kidding me?" mode. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference, he emphasized, "Ukraine must be part of these negotiations. We will not accept being treated like the forgotten guest at this geopolitical dinner party." To make things worse, Trump called Putin before even bothering to check in with him. Ouch! Back in Moscow, the mood is euphoric. Putin's press secretary, Dmitry Peskov, grinned like the cat who got the cream, announcing that Russia is very pleased with the open dialogue it now has with the U.S. administration. Russian officials are even hinting at rolling out the red carpet for Trump at Moscow's upcoming grand event, the 80th anniversary of the Soviet victory in World War II. Nothing like a victory parade to make an American president feel at home, right? On Russian state television, analysts practically danced in their seats. Senior Russian politician Alexei Pushkov called the Trump-Putin call a historic moment, while talk show host Effie Popopov didn't even try to hide his glee. "Trump is basically doing our job for us. He's carving Europe into pieces," he chuckled. His co-host Olga Skabeva giggled like a schoolgirl, adding, "This is something we never imagined possible." But hold the celebratory vodka shots. Moscow has been burned before. Back in 2016, Russian officials were practically toasting to Trump's unexpected victory, dreaming of a U.S.-Russia bromance. That dream fizzled quickly when Trump, rather than lifting sanctions, slapped more on them. Some in the Kremlin are quietly wondering, will history repeat itself? Meanwhile, on the battlefield, things are messy. Moscow hopes that Trump pulling back U.S. support will tip the scales, but Russia's war machine isn't exactly in top shape. Pre-invasion, Russia had around 11,000 tanks. Now, they're down to less than 3,000, many of which are rusting relics from the Cold War. Ukraine, battered but unbroken, refuses to surrender, and negotiations, if they ever happen, will be anything but smooth sailing. For Putin, Trump's potential return to the White House is the ultimate jackpot. It's his golden ticket to weakening Western unity and cutting off Ukraine from crucial support. But here's the catch. Trump is wildly unpredictable. Even Russian insiders admit he's not exactly a man of his word. Unless, of course, that word involves something that personally benefits him. Former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton put it best when he told CNN, "They're drinking vodka straight from the bottle in the Kremlin tonight." But not everyone in Russia is convinced. On Telegram channels, Russian military bloggers are swinging between "this is amazing" and "wait, what if he changes his mind tomorrow?" It's a real roller coaster of emotions. Some say the only way to keep Trump on their side is to stroke his ego, something Putin, as a former KGB officer, is more than happy to do. Instead of pushing back on Trump's past threats, Putin is flattering him like a VIP guest, even going so far as to agree with Trump's claim that he won the 2020 U.S. election. Meanwhile, Ukraine is playing the long game, betting that Putin's tough guy act will eventually push Trump away. It's a risky gamble, but it might just be their best shot. Russia's resources, though vast, aren't unlimited. Since Putin's original blitzkrieg-style invasion failed spectacularly, he's been banking on breaking Western unity. And let's be real, Trump returning to the White House was always part of that plan. So here we are. Moscow is throwing a victory party, but the real game is just beginning. Will Trump's phone call to Putin be the start of a seismic geopolitical shift? Or is this just another episode in the never-ending saga of international diplomacy gone wild? Buckle up, because this ride is far from over.